Hello, this is the Ramblings of an Indisciplined Podcast for Saturday, October 29th, 2016. So today we got some comments to go through. So we've got a number of them, so let's get going. The first one comes from episode 608, Paying the Iron Price, where I was talking about cutting 3 chapters from what was Borrowed Time. And Gary writes, I enjoyed the book in its original form, but looking forward to seeing how it reads after all your editing. And my sincere hope is that it's much better. That's certainly what I'm going for. Let's see. And then next we have episode 609, Dead Men Tell No Tales, which was talking about the trailer for the is it the 5th now? Pirates of the Caribbean movie? I think it's the 5th. Gary writes, I wasn't as crazy about the last installment as the previous ones, but enjoyed it still. I do like Javier Bardem as a villain, so I have high hopes for this one. Yeah, that looks good. I'm looking forward to that one too. Hopefully they've got some things a little bit stronger than they did the last one, but in that episode I already kind of saw a couple things in the trailer that made me go, ooh? So we'll see. The next was episode 616, as heard on podcasts, where I was talking about some things that, I talked about gentrification and the meaning of 5-star reviews is what I put on there. It's been a while on some of these. I got to think about what they were. Gary writes, I use the 5-star system kind of how like the Air Force used it for personal ratings. Their idea is that 3 stars meant you did the job that was expected of you. And then I vary the number of stars depending on how well or poorly you performed. I typically say 5 stars for something that completely blows my socks off, like Mistborn. Yeah, that's what I've been saving 5 stars for too. You know, that kind of rating, where I worked, we had a rating like that. They only had a 9, they had a 9 grid. ABC 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. And so like the really highest one was, you couldn't get that. I mean, it was just impossible. Nobody got that. And then the lowest one, they're walking your butt out the door. And so everybody, the majority of people ended up right in the middle. And it be, I don't know, I'm not in HR, I don't have facts, but the people that I knew, we were all in that middle box. And it got to be rather ridiculous because, a couple of the boxes don't make sense if you're, because I think across the top was results, and across down the side was leadership skills. So you probably aren't going to be like great in results, but really crappy in leadership skills. So you aren't going to get that extreme. And you also, and vice versa, you aren't going to be like super great on leadership skills, but totally suck on results. So there's 2 you're throwing out. So now you're down to 7. And then you got the way high one, which nobody's going to get. So now you're down to 6. And the other ones I think were pretty rare. I actually did move up a tier, my last review. So, but now we're starting a new process for the coming year, and they totally changed the system. I got no clue how that's going to be, because now we've got like 3 different ratings, so it's going to be a totally different thing. I've actually started probably being a little bit more likely to give something 5 stars. Although I did just read a book that what was it doing that was annoying me so dang much? He was doing a lot of head hopping, and there were some other technical things that, while I enjoyed the book and I enjoyed the story, mechanically, and this is like the 3rd book in the series that I think was pretty well received, but mechanically there was this stuff that's like, holy crap, dude, what are you doing? And I give that 3, because it happened constantly, and it bugged me every time. So I only give that one 3 stars. And that's basically what it takes, I think, really to get a 3-star out of me, is that there's got to be something really wrong, and, but it's not going to be, so like I've got for Nathan Lowell, I think it's double share. I've got the Ryden edition, and for some reason, the ellipses don't encode correctly. I didn't ding him for that on the review. I think I mentioned that actually. Now that I'm saying it, I'd say I've heard me say this before. So there's that. All right, episode 618, Trailer Tuesday, where I was talking about the Assassin's Creed trailer and the new Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One trailer. And Gary came back and said, P.S. The actor you were trying to remember is Peter Cushing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Peter Cushing, who played Grand Moff Tarkin. And then he further said, I'll have to check those out for sure. I've seen the teaser for Rogue One, but didn't know they were making an AC movie. I tried playing a demo of one of the installments, but it didn't go over well. I never played any of the games. Yeah, I'd heard that they were doing the Assassin's Creed movie. Yeah, I actually got to, I have Assassin's Creed, the first one, and I'm stuck, so, and I'm stuck, I mean, there's like 3 cities in there, and then you've got, I mean, I'm stuck in the first quadrant of Jerusalem, the first city. So, you know, take that as you may. Either I'm a namby-pamby player, although I am to the point now where if I'm going to play a game, I'm pretty much, with the exception of Minecraft, I'm going to play it on easy because I'm really more interested in experiencing the story and kind of seeing everything than I am in trying to really show my gamer muscles in getting through these super hard challenges. And I'm not even, you know, I never play like hard or legendary or any of that crap. But it annoys me, you know, when I reach a spot that I'm having trouble with, you know, so like it annoys me that, you know, I'm stuck on Tomb Raider. It annoys me I'm stuck on Assassin's Creed because I was having a lot of fun with that. I should actually go back because I haven't touched that in a while. I have done it. I have gone back once or twice, you know. The trouble is you're in this spot where you got to fight a lot of guys with swords and you're in a very confined space and they're dropping down from ledges above you, and it's just really tough to, I guess I'm not good enough at the sword play there, so it's tough for me to do that. All right, so next we've got episode 619, Sitting at the Round Table. Gary wrote, at first it seemed to me that they were really getting lost in details, but I think I understand how defining everyone's motivation and conflict would help write the story. Like he said, that took serious cojones to do. My hat's off to you. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there are some things there. I just recorded a Timeout podcast. It's going to be released on Monday, so I'll be looking for that. And one of the things he really hit me on was, you know, why does Kogo want the throne? And he didn't seem to think the motivation that I had was enough. But I'm thinking, why do people want the throne? I mean, they want it for wealth, they want it for power, they want it for status, they want it for all the above. I mean, it's not like, I don't know. I seem to feel like Jake wanted something that was beyond that, but that's the reason people go over the throne for years. So, I don't know. But she's going to be, well, I won't talk about that any further. You can listen to the Timeout podcast if you want to hear more. I talked extensively about my plans for that novel in NaNoWriMo on that episode of the Timeout podcast. And that was great to record that. If you're not familiar with what the Timeout podcast is, I'll just kind of break in here. That's kind of a longer form podcast where I talk about writing or I share an excerpt or whatever. So like the one that's going to be released on Monday was one where I talked about, you know, kind of what I'm seeing as far as how I'm going to lay out the novel, what the point of view characters are going to be, what some of the action is. I still think the Act 1 and 2, if you go to the NaNoWriMo.org, I still think the Act 1 and 2 descriptions I have out there. Act 3 is probably going to be significantly different, I think. All right, so next we've got episode 620, Archery Tag. And Gary writes, what you described sounded as fun as I thought it would be. There is something satisfying about shooting people you know. I used to play paintball, but I'd certainly give this a try. As for cornhole, that game is second only to college football down here. Yeah, I knew it was big in the South. Yeah, I think this is less painful than paintball. I actually haven't played paintball, although I'd love to, but I know it's pretty painful if you get hit, especially if you get hit if you don't have like, you know, long sleeves on. And this was a lot of fun, but you're talking about it is satisfying about shooting people you know, because like there's this one guy who's a friend of mine that got hit and was out, and he was walking out. I said, O'Brien, if you didn't know, that was me. I wanted to tag it. I wanted to own it. Dang it. But that was a blast. Alrighty then. For episode 622, which was the tour of my recording studio, the video-only tour, David Collins Rivera, another author, asked me what model my Behringer mixer was using, and it is a Xenyx 502, in case anybody else is interested. Xenyx is how you spell that. And then Gary wrote, that's a cool little room you have there. Thanks for the tour. So you're welcome. I was glad to share it. It was fun to do. And let's see, what else do we have? And then we had on Ramblings, episode 624, 30 years. Gary said, congratulations to you both. I remember that day as well. Yeah, he would, because he was my best man. So yes, he would have remembered that. I'm trying to see if I can find, I had some comments on that one on the Facebook. I don't know that I can find it, and I didn't queue it up, and that's my bad. That's my bad. Gonna look like for 20 more seconds. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. I think I found it. No, I guess I didn't. All right, never mind. Moving on. Got to keep the show moving. Got to keep the show moving. So, the next one was for 625, Interstellar Pilot, where I'm realizing my dreams of being a galactic trader. And Gary wrote, I downloaded it but haven't found the time to try it out yet. While listening to your review, I started thinking about the Nathan Lowell books too. Now I can release my inner Ishmael Wong. And that's correct. One thing I like about it is that, yeah, you can sit there and spend a lot of time on it, but you don't have to. You know, like, unless you're like trying to get away from a battle or something like that. And most of the time when I've been playing it, I haven't been anywhere near the battles. The one time I had a bandit ship track me was because I had moved. I was going to some station or whatever, and I chose a path that got me a little bit too close to the bandit outpost. And so I learned not to do that. Stay away from the bandit outpost. So other than that, I mean, I can stop it at any time without any danger. And so next is episode 626, Fall. Gary writes, high in the 40s. We still haven't had that many lows in that range. He's in Bama. Fall is my favorite time of the year because that's when Debbie and I started dating. That's when we got married. So it's a good time of the month for that. And then Jelaine, the wife, got me on football. How could you forget football? And you know, that's just total stupidity on my part. How could I forget football? That's my favorite sport, and it starts in the fall. So yes, that should have had place of honor. And I guess I was just zoning out that day. I didn't think about football. Gosh, what a moron! But we kind of knew that. And that's it. That's it. That's all of the feedback, which is just as well because we've got a lot going on. So I will be back on Monday with a Time Out Podcast episode. I will be back with another episode of the Ramblings podcast. So you get 2 episodes from me Monday, depending on what you're subscribed to. But anyway, I will be talking to you then. So be seeing you.